What's up guys, and welcome back to another Myteam video. And in today's video I'm going to be ranking the best point guards in the tier list, and this position is very stacked, so I'm interested to see how this is going to work out. And yeah, let's get right into it. So we're going to start off with Steve Nash, who is really bad in this game. He can defend pretty well, but he doesn't do much more at all on the court. His release isn't good. He has no movement. I don't think he's the worst point guard, but he's definitely not good at all. Next up, we've got the good D-Wade, the pro pass D-Wade, who has Kyrie dribble style and a very quick jump shot. His jump shot still isn't amazing, but it's actually pretty good. On very quick, and his dribble style is also pretty decent. And he's a great slasher and the best defensive point guard in the game. I think he's probably the third best point guard currently, and he for sure deserves that top 5 spot. Next up, we've got Michael Carter-Williams, and he's okay. He's 6'6", which is very tall to point guard position. His release is good, but he has no movement, and his defense isn't great. So he's a very usable and good card, but he's not quite elite. Next up, we've got I can't even say that name. He's not that good either. I think he's in D tier. His release is pretty good, but he doesn't give you that much in the court, and he doesn't play great D. Next up, we've got Damian Lillard, who is probably also a D tier. He might be low C, but he doesn't play great D at all. He's a good slasher. He's also undersized, very undersized at this point, but he also has a good release. So I honestly might go low C. He's just very undersized though. Next up, we've got Chris Paul, who's probably also low C. He plays immaculate defense. He has a good release, a good fade, decent dribble 6. He has a good push cross, but not much else. But he's very undersized at this point in the game. That's why it's only a C tier. If he was 6'4", he would definitely be A for me. I love this guy. I used to run his diamond, and I had heaps of success with his diamond. Okay, next up we've got Jordan Clarkson, who's probably also low C. Arguably D tier. He doesn't play D. He's a good slasher. He's pretty tall too, at 6'5". But his release isn't amazing, and he has no 6 either. And he doesn't play defense. Next up we've got Steph Curry, who's our first trash card here. If you know how to cheat with him, he might be C or D. But if you don't know how to use that Curry escape, he just sucks, and he plays no D, and he's undersized. So this Curry, and he can't dunk either, so this Curry is definitely in the trash tier, in the tier list. Okay, next up we've got Darius Garland, who's probably high C, or I'm going to say low B. He has the best dribble style in the game, but doesn't have great saves. He's got a great, amazing jump shot, but he's still undersized and doesn't play great defense overall. Next up, we got Donovan Mitchell, who is probably at this point, in my last tier list, he was in A tier, but at this point, he's going to go in high B for me. He's just not as good as his other Opal card who came Was it Opal? I think it was a Dark Matter even. It's just not as good as the other card who came out, who had his release on very quick. So at this point, I think he's probably low B tier. I think I'm going to move Jordan Clarkson, Chris Paul, and Damian Lillard down just to make the tier list a bit deeper, you know what I mean? And just have it more like this, and move Steve Nash to D tier. There you go. That's better, to be honest. In trash. This looks better. Okay, next up we've got Mark Price, who's the definition of mid. He doesn't play D. I think he's probably in D tier, to be honest. His Dark Matter is probably in C, but his Opal stinks. Come on. Next up we've got Cade Cunningham, who's still very... What happened? He's still very good in this game. He's not top 5 anymore. His Opal's a bit better. It was released on very quick, but this one's still S tier, and he plays good D, 6'6". He's got amazing release. He just has no fade. That's the biggest issue with this card. Next up, we've got Devin Booker, who just doesn't play D. With D badges, he's probably S. If you badge him up completely, he's probably one of the best point guards. But as a base card, he doesn't play enough defense for me, and he kind of gets cooked, even though he has a great release and good six. So he's only 80 on my list. Next up, we've got Ja Moran, who's probably low D. He plays no defense at all. He's undersized, and he has no six. What else am I supposed to say? It's probably not as bad as Stephen Curry because at least he can dunk really well, which Steph can't, and they have similar releases. Like, I honestly prefer Ja's release to Stephen Curry's. But yeah, Ja's overall going in D tier for me. Next up, we've got Dyson Daniels, who's probably in the same tier as Mike Carter Williams. They're basically the same card, just Dyson has no sinks. Michael can move the ball a bit better. They're basically the same size. Dyson's a bit taller, and Dyson plays better D. But yeah, I think, is he C? No, he's going low B. Dyson Daniels is a little bit better. Okay, next up we've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's at this point probably high A. I think D-Book's probably low A. Yeah, Shai doesn't play great defense either. He plays better D than D-Book, that's for sure. He has a great push cross and doesn't offer that much else. He has a good release too. He's pretty tall, but someone who I really love in this game is Zach LaVine. His pink diamond is S with Cade Cunningham. He's got an amazing release. He has pretty good sigs. He dunks the ball amazingly well, and he plays similar defense to Cade. Honestly, preferred Zach to Cade. I had both cards. I'm running his Opal now, that you got from the exchange, and just having Aaron Gordon as a filler. Okay, next up we've got, I have two Michael Carters here. Let me just put that one away. Next up we've got Tyrese Halliburton, who absolutely sucks. He's probably the worst card on this list. He has a beta jump shot. No, he has no sigs. He has the only thing he offers on the floor is a bit of size at 6'5", but he has no fade at all. Just don't even try his fade. He just sucks. I have this card too. He stinks. Okay, next up we got Stephon Castle, who I also had. He's one of the best budget point guards in the game. He's probably gonna go low A tier for me in this list. Yeah, low A. He's probably high A, to be honest. He's he's not great side. I expected him to have a higher driving dunk than 85, to be honest. But he's a good enough slasher. He plays great D. He's 6'7", which is just ginormous at the point guard position. And overall, he's just a great card. He has a great release too. I might actually pick up this card for myself. He's amazing. Okay, next up we've got DeJounte Murray, who's probably at this point high D. He's still got a pretty decent release. It's not that good anymore, but it's decent release. He plays okay defense, and he's 6'5", so like, it's just he's not as good anymore. Stephen Curry, this one's probably, if you know how to choose him, he's probably like B, but I think this one is, I think he's probably low C at this point in the game. He's just too undersized. This one can dunk at least, but he's still not good. Russell Westbrook is probably in the same tier as Curry. His release isn't that good either. He just doesn't give you much on the floor, except defending and slashing. He has no sinks and a bad release. Like, Gary Payton, who I have, he's probably in the same tier as Ja. He also sucks. He gives you nothing on offense at all, and he doesn't even play great D. His play build is so tiny. He just sucks. D Rose is probably high B. I have this card myself too. He dunks the ball amazingly well. His release is actually pretty good. I don't know why everyone's saying his release is bad. He has a good fade, a decent fade. Sorry, his dribble sinks aren't horrible. He plays great D, and he's very fast and a great slasher. I actually like this card, but low B is the highest I'm going for him. Next up, we got Allen Iverson, who also just, in my last tier list, I don't know what I was saying. He's 5'11", like he sucks. Why did I have him at B tier? Like, seriously, D tier is highest I'm going for him because at least he has a good release and can dunk the ball amazingly well. His release isn't even that good, to be honest. But next up, we got Jerry West, who also is very mid. He's in the same tier as Westbrook, Curry, Garland. He's not as good as D Rose or Michael Carter Williams. It's just his release isn't amazing. He has no SIGs, and he's pretty undersized at only 6'4", even though Derrick Rose is the same height as Jerry West. Just Derrick Rose gives you much more slashing and honestly a better release. So yeah. Next up, Luka Doncic, who's okay. I also have this card. He's pretty glitchy sometimes, especially going up against smaller point guards, but his release isn't great, and he doesn't play D, so C tier is the highest I'm going for him. Next up, we've got this Shea, who isn't that good. He's probably low B, to be honest. He doesn't play good D. Yeah, he does have pretty good SIGs and a good jump shot, but he just plays no D at all. Derrick Rose plays much better D than this Shea. Next up, we've got Jason Kidd, who no return MG is just blazing like crazy. He isn't that good. He's probably like C tier. Just plays good D and offers you nothing else. He's pretty undersized. He's not that good. His release isn't that good either. Trae Young, who I have too, who I pulled as a hidden gem, just sucks. He sucks so bad. He doesn't play D and he doesn't dunk. Like, he's just the worst card ever, bro. Next up, we've got Mac McClung, who's probably low D tier. If you, what I did before the challenges came out, I was watching the dunk contest, and it looked like, obviously, Mac McClung was winning after he did that dunk over the car. So I just picked him up for myself and got him at a major discount. So I made heaps of MT out of that. Hope you did the same. But overall, this card isn't good. His release isn't great at all. His release is actually baited, to be honest. He's not a good defender and he's undersized. At least he can dunk the ball insanely well. Next up, we got James Harden, he's definitely top 5. He's got a great release. His SIGs aren't horrible. His SIGs aren't as good as they used to be, but they're still not horrible. He has honestly the best release in the game. I've tried this card before. And yeah, I think he's definitely a top 2 point guard, to be honest. He's better than D Wade, that's for sure. Okay. Next up, we've got Kyrie Irving, who's okay, like probably low C. He can dunk the ball pretty well. He defends. He shoots. He's just too small at this point. Derrick Rose is much better than that Kyrie. I do think the Shea is probably high B right now. Okay, next up we've got Oscar Robertson, who is very good in this game. He's probably low S tier or high A. I think he's going low S, to be honest, because his defense is just immaculate and his release is really good. In next gen, on all gen his release sucks. Just don't use him on all gen. Okay, next up we've got Jalen Brunson, who's probably high B tier. He's probably low A. He has a great and insanely good release. I even love that Amethyst Jalen Brunson's release. This Jalen Brunson just has that release on steroids. He's a good defender, except he's just undersized, so you will get spammed with the wide cut sometimes, but it's fine. If you just know how to play help defense, it'll be fine. And he dunks the ball really well. I just love this card, to be honest, even though he's only 6 feet tall. If he wasn't 6 feet tall, he'd be in a top 5 point guard in the game. Next up, we've got Damian Lillard, who is very similar to his Pink Diamond. He's just probably a little bit better. He plays better D, that's it. He's just literally his Pink Diamond with better defense. Okay, next up, we've got LaMelo Ball, who on all gen, I honestly think I should take 2 LaMelos. Yeah, on all gen, he's S. On current gen, he's probably like, wait one sec. So on old gen, I think that he's on next gen. I think that he's high B. On old gen, he's the best point guard in the game still. But we're doing a next gen ranking, so he's B tier. Next up, goes Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who is definitely the best point guard in the game, in my opinion. He's got an amazing release, plays amazing defense. His release is insane. He has great six. He's a great slash. He just does everything you want, and he's 6'6". So this Shea is insane. Even his pink diamond is really good still. Next up, we've got Jar Jar Moran, who's just a little bit better than his other Jar. He just isn't. He just plays better D, but still is very he stinks kind of in this game. I just cook Jar with my D rows every time. Next up, we've got James Harden, who's probably James Harden. He's probably low A, to be honest. He doesn't play even as close as good D as his other Harden. He has. Does he have his release on very quick? I'm not sure actually, but overall he isn't as good at all as his other Harden. So he's probably high A, to be honest. Could argue S tier. He's overall a great card still. Next up we've got next up we've got. Let me just close this up. Next up we've got Donovan Mitchell, who's also an amazing card. He's probably low S. He's an amazing slash. The only problem with him is that he's 6'3". He's an amazing slasher, immaculate defender. He's got an amazing release. He does everything you want except being that tall point guard like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Next up we got Magic Johnson, who's also a top 5 point guard. I'm not sure if he's better or worse than D Wade. He's probably a little bit better. Just because he's 6'9". Just doesn't play great D, and I do cook that Magic a lot of the times with my Bernard King or Zach LaVine or even D Wade. It's just so easy to get blow bys and why cut this Magic. His defense still isn't amazing, but he's 6'9". He's got a really good release now, and yeah, he's just a great card, a top 5 point guard for sure. Next up, we've got Jamal Murray, who's also in C. We have a lot of C. He's probably low C. This card overall, I think Russ, you could put a low B, to be honest. This card isn't great at all. He's fine, but he's not that good. Yeah, just a few things. Okay, so this card just doesn't play good D, and he's not that tall. He's only 6'4". So, yeah, I think the C tier is the right spot for him. Next up, we've got Jalen Brunson, who's probably... This JB is probably C, high C. His release is still good, but it's not as good as his Dark Matters release. He doesn't dunk the ball nearly as well, and he doesn't defend as well. His Dark Matter is just so much better. So this Jalen Brunson is kind of a disappointment. Okay, next up, we've got... You could say J Kids B. I'll put him at B. But he's just not as good as no return MG is saying he is. Okay, he's not that good. No, I think the Don is probably D. This card stinks. He's trash, bro. His release isn't that good. He's only 6'3". No, he's D. He just isn't that good. Just don't. If you pick them up and spend like 200k MT for this trash can or 100k, he just stinks. Bronny is the worst point guard on this list overall. His release sucks. He's undersized as 6'1". He just sucks. He just sucks so bad. He can't do anything on the court. Jeff Hornacek's he's probably low C. His release is good. Just doesn't play good D. That's it. Monte Ellis is probably also low C. He's pretty good on offense. He isn't that tall. He's only 6'3". His defense is fine. Yeah, I think he's low C. I like his releases here. So, this Cade is honest. Let's see who else. Is he a top 5 point guard? Let me see who else we have on this list. He is a top 5 point guard indeed. This Cade is just immaculate. He's just really good. He's probably the 5th best point guard in the game, behind D Wade, Magic, James Harden, and Shea. But he's an amazing point guard, to be honest. And yeah, he's coming in at my number 5 point guard in the game. Next up, we got Stephen Curry, who is probably... This Curry is probably high A, or low A, to be honest, in the same tier as Brunson. This Curry plays good D. He dunks the ball really well. His release is insane. Like, if you've played against someone who cheeses you, this Curry is insane. It's hard to guard. Just he's not good on D, that's all. If he was better on D, he would probably be the best point guard in the game. If he was just tall, let's be honest. This D-Wade sucks. He's probably low B. His dribble style sucks. His release sucks. Like, I don't care, bro. This D-Wade sucks. John, he's probably... Is he low B? He's probably high B. It's not better than Shea, though. So, yeah. Next up, we got John Wall, who is mid A, probably. Like, is he better than Von Castle? I don't know. It's probably a little bit less. I still like this card. He plays great D. He's a great slasher. It's an amazing release. He just is undersized at 6'3". That's why I like Von Castle more. Next up, we've got LaMelo Ball. LaMelo overall is a great card. Whereas Lonzo Ball, sorry. He's probably going to be in the same tier as Michael Carter Williams. They're basically the same card. At that low B tier. Yeah. Next up, we've got Derek White, who's basically the same card as Jason Kidd. And he also is going to be at the low B for me. Next up, we've got Pete Maravich, who I actually like a bit in this game. He's also... I have so many B tiers, to be honest. He's probably high... He's probably mid B. He's better than Michael Carter, but he's not better than Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. That's the right spot, I think. I don't know why everyone's hating on this card. He plays pretty good D. His release is insane. Like, insanely good. He plays great D, to be honest. He's a pretty good slasher. Not bad. I like this card, to be honest. He's obviously not worth that much MT, but he's fine. Like, I don't know why people say he's horrible. Next up, we've got... I'm pretty sure, yeah, we already ranked this card. Next up, we've got Kyrie Irving. This Kyrie is probably going to be at that low B tier. He's just better than his other Kyrie, to be honest. He's probably the same tier as Pete Maravich. He's got an amazing release, plays good D, can dunk. And yeah, he's a pretty decent card. I think this will do it for the tier list today. I think I nailed it. The point competition this one in the game is very deep. And yeah, I think this tier list was good. And I hope that you got what you needed out of this and you learned about these cards. Yeah, see you in the next Myteam video. Peace.